cute.
Thank you. Okay, so let me try to move over towards the light so I can have even better. I have really good lighting in my living room. I just need to figure out how to put it. Okay.
Take your time. You look really cute.
Thank you. I was like, let me look cute, for her. I'm excited.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Cake Dish Podcast. I got Miss Kashmere from Kashmere Uncensored Podcast with me today. The boy, she over there looking just all together. Okay. How you been? How you doing? What's new, girl?
I'm great. I'm just obviously working on my podcast, getting my book together, and just trying to put some good content in the world.
Yes, I was listening to your podcast. The reason I really wanted you on the show is because I feel like you give us girls a lot of game. You give out a lot of free game on your podcast. You had the one about like how to make the most money in the strip club, the sugar daddy thing, and I'm like, okay, she giving out a lot of game that a lot of the other girls, they might not be willing to talk about so openly.
Right.
So you have like the good experiences. So what is the experience? I want to start with the sugar daddy. Like, what is your experiences with the sugar daddies, getting the sugar daddies, and basically running up the big there?
Okay, so how it started was when I was in college, I had a roommate. She was heavily in that lifestyle.
Okay.
And then I had like a dissertation paper that I had to do. And it was like, write a paper describing your roommate and your living experience with her.
Okay.
So this was like 7-8 years ago. I know I'm old. But anyway, so me writing that paper and interviewing her for the paper, it kind of intrigued me a little bit of that, into that lifestyle.
Right.
And then she was like, okay, you're very pretty, that, you were struggling to pay the rent. You should get a sugar daddy.
Right.
And then it just went from there. And I just kind of, to say without saying too much, I experienced that lifestyle. And then I started watching movies and reading books on it and getting others' experience. And I kind of was like, comparing my progress with theirs.
Right.
And so when it was time for me to produce my own content, which started out was going to be a book. And then when I decided to do a podcast, I was like, I want to be the resource that I wanted when I was in that lifestyle.
Right.
Because there are a lot of girls on YouTube that are like sugar baby enthusiasts and TikTok and stuff. And the information that they sometimes give is not really accurate or true.
Right.
So I wanted to be like the factual choice, someone who's actually been in it, because sometimes when I watch these girls' YouTubes, I can tell offhand, I'm like, she don't really have no sugar daddy. She don't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's really levels to it. So I feel like not only just me, just people that I've been friends with and been around, I feel like I'm somewhat of an expert.
Okay. And see, that's what I mean about your life experiences and you talking about things that other people be like taboo. But the reality of the situation is the girls want a sugar daddy and they don't know where to go. They don't know, they don't know how to move. So I felt like that was a super interesting episode and useful because, I mean, let's face it, these things are going on.
Right.
And I think a lot of young girls, they get into these situations and they don't know how to navigate them. And it turns into something that they did not want. You know what I mean? So
right. And that's another reason why I wanted to do the podcast and my book as well, because that lifestyle is very glamorized.
Right, exactly.
Yes, it has its amazing glamorous points, but it's not as glamorous as people make it seem.
Right.
So I just wanted, of course, in my book, I'm going to talk about the good, but I'm also going to talk about the pros and cons and how to become one day your own sugar daddy, because that's the ultimate goal. The goal is to be able to support yourself, take care of yourself, spoil yourself. You might just need to, somebody to push you up a couple steps to get to the top, but you want to ultimately be able to do that for yourself.
Absolutely. So without saying too much, because we want people to buy the book, obviously.
Yes.
But what was, in your opinion, like the biggest pro when you were in that experience, in that lifestyle?
I feel like a lot because I was in that lifestyle for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a series of highs and a series of lows. The highs I would say would definitely be I have very broad horizons. Like I'm very knowledgeable about like luxury and culture, luxury culture. I'm very like worldly, well traveled.
Mm-hmm.
My expectations are a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
And just I feel like I've experienced things at a young age that people usually wait till they're 30, 40, 50 to experience. So obviously the material things, cars, clothes, things like that. But I guess just that feeling of like financial security obviously is a pro. So you could follow your dreams, you could finish school. Like for me, I finished school, went to grad school, did a whole bunch of fucking shit, like real estate school, acting school, makeup school. Anything that I wanted to try, I was able to do that without worrying about like stressing to pay my bills. So I would definitely think that's a pro.
Now, again, without saying too much, what would be like, I guess, the biggest con, the biggest downside in your opinion?
I think the biggest downside is the psychological effects that it has on you long term. Because you got to think that most people, when they think sugar daddy, they think younger, super young girl and super old man.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm not dating a really super old man, but even if you're dating somebody, I would say 20 years older than you. Mm-hmm. The age difference and the level of experience alone added to the fact that that person has more money than you, they're going to treat you like they're superior to you. Right. So that's going to mess with you self-esteem wise, because now you're going to equate someone with more money than you to be better than you. And then that's going to allow them the opportunity to manipulate you, and they can create whatever they can mold you mentally however they want you to be, because you're going to look at like, okay, this person pays for everything, he takes care of me, so everything that he's saying is true. So I would say the psychological is the biggest con.
So how does a woman who is exiting the lifestyle, how does she kind of repair like that mental break that happens?
Well, it's a process, because I'm still on that journey as well. I would suggest just to really take all of the things that they learned from being in that situation and try to make a positive out of it. Also, just do things that make you happy and do things that will advance you, whether it's taking a class or learning a new trade or reading different books, taking a certain trips. Just kind of just focus on like rehabilitating yourself and your mental.
Got you. I think that's very important, because like you said, we see the glamour, the clothes, the cars, but once you're done with it, you still kind of you got some, mental breakdowns. And I don't think anyone really addresses that. Like you said, there's a lot of girls on YouTube who claim to be babies, but nobody talks about like the long-term mental effects of it and how that leaves you. So see, girl, that's why you here. That's why you.
Yes, I'm here. And also you got to learn to sustain the money that you have, experienced. You have to, it's a big skill to learn how to maintain that same lifestyle that you had when you had free bills or someone taking care of you. So for me, that was challenging for me. I just started to like save and manage money, I would say maybe 3 years ago. Whereas though if I would have done that 7 years ago, I probably would be a millionaire by now. So that's something too. That they don't teach you on YouTube.
They definitely don't. Now, you talk a lot about also like exotic dancing, and one of your episodes was like how to really make, I think, like $100,000 doing the exotic dancing. So, in your experience, what I guess is probably the one thing that girls go into dancing not realizing?
Well, one thing they don't realize is that it's not as easy as it looks on Instagram, number one. And you're not going to walk out with piles and piles of money every day, number two. Doesn't matter how pretty you are, you can have the best body, the biggest ass, the prettiest face, unless you're just God's gift to man. You're not, every single day is not going to be an amazing day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's, something that girls need to realize too.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of the body, do you feel like the girls who kind of get the work done, or the more natural girls are the ones who walk away with the biggest bag?
It's so crazy. Me and my friend was just having this conversation. So I used to think a few years ago, like, in order to make money in the club, you have to have your body done. Those are the girls that make top dollars. Those were the girls that I was seeing making top dollars, right? Mm-hmm. But as the industry is changing, obviously, yes, the girls with their bodies done, typically kind of make more money because, and this is why, a customer told me this. Mm-hmm. He feels more he said that he felt more comfortable spending money on a girl that invested in herself that made him want to invest in her, right? But now it's kind of more of who you know and what's your hustle like. So I would say that shift probably happened within the past 2-3 years, because when I started getting work done, it was only the top bitches could even afford to get plastic surgery. Right. Now that it's so accessible, you literally can find a doctor on Instagram and do a payment plan to get your body done. It's not as faux pas, it's not as much of a luxury, so it's not special. It's like everybody's getting shit done. So now you have to have something different.
You have to have something extra. Now, I want to kind of talk about the plastic surgery thing just a little bit. So like you said, the customer told you that investing in your body kind of made him want to invest. And I think that's a really interesting way to look at it, because like in this social media age, I feel like it's kind of like natural girls versus girls who get work done on social media.
And I hate that.
I hate that, because we're all women. We still have all of the same issues, like from everything. But what is your overall opinion on a girl who's wanting to get it, or advice, I should say, wanting to get surgery, but she's kind of in that tug of war between staying natural and getting it done? Like, what would you say to her?
I would say to, first of all, figure out why you want to get your body done. Mm-hmm. Have a plan. Don't get your body done because you look on Instagram and you see, okay, I want to look like this girl and get these things, because one of two things, a lot of girls are Photoshop even with their bodies done. True. So you definitely need to know that. I personally know some of the most famous, popular girls on Instagram, and they do not look like that in person. Number one. Number two, though, do it if you feel like you can afford it. Mm-hmm. Don't go broke trying to do it. Also, do your research. You do not want to be botched. You do not want 5 years from now you're on a TV show complaining because you're dying from bad injections. So definitely do your research. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. And then if you are natural and you want to get your work, get work that looks natural. Like you want to, when you get work done, you want to look like a better version of yourself. You don't want to completely transform who you are as a person, because then that's really going to fuck with your self-esteem.
Right.
So just get it to where you look like, did she get work done or did she? You don't want to just look like you just got off the table yesterday. So.
Right. Okay. So how about, like, because it's another thing that I've experienced, when you get work done, some women around you act very different. Like, why do you think that is? Like, you will have friends that's being your friends and y'all been cool, and like you just get a little nip tuck for yourself. And it's like they don't want to go out with you no more. Like, why is that?
Well, I think it's because, again, me and my other friend was having this conversation, because she was saying that one of her friends told her it's intimidating going out with her because And those are only the type of women who seek validation from men. So they feel like the girl with plastic surgery is going to get more attention from them. So they're a little threatened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what I think that is. I just think that a friend is used to you looking a certain way. Maybe they used to think they were prettier than you or finer than you. And now you got a little work done and you're like the star of the group and they don't know how to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that could be why, or they're just intimidated, or they don't want to be out with you and you get more male attention than them. Mm-hmm. So I think I would say that's what it is. They act like.
Is that really like a friend if you're intimidated by one another? Because, you know, friends are not supposed to compete and feel this way about their girlfriend. Like, your girlfriend looking good, you're supposed to big her up and be like, yes, girl, you looking good, da 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 da. In my opinion, I don't think like an intimidation thing should come into play.
It shouldn't, but unfortunately, that's how it is. Someone can love you, they can love hanging out with you, you can be their close friends, but if they have insecurities of their own and they see you as a threat, they're going to be jealous. It's just female nature. My mom just used to tell me that. So you could be friends. I'm personally not a jealous person. I want all my friends to be the best versions of themselves, but not everyone thinks like that. Also, I don't give a fuck about male attention because it comes and goes regardless. Yes. And so by me being in a strip club, I think that I have like a different type of confidence than the average woman, because I know that men like a different array of women. Mm-hmm. So for me, it doesn't affect me, but I have experienced that myself, and then I have friends who've experienced it. It's just something we can't control.
So when you experienced it, how did you deal with it? Like, how do you navigate through a friendship like that?
I feel like if you're a hater, I'm just gonna cut you off. I mean, I might not be mean to you, like do it in a mean way, but I'm gonna do it in a way where I'm gonna distance myself from you, and then I'm not gonna block you on social media. I'm gonna let you see me shine. Okay. That's just me personally. Like, you're gonna have to eat.
You're just gonna have to eat that one up. Now, going back to insecurity, because men can be insecure as well. So, and especially if you're a woman and you got, some little things done, how do you deal with that? Like, if you're dating a guy, all men say, oh, natural, but cap. So right. You're dating a guy, like, how do you deal with his insecurities about like your plastic surgery, your work that you have done? Like, how does that work?
I definitely think that's a conversation that you guys need to have. Like, hey, how do you feel about me getting this done? Why do you like it and why don't you? And then you have to just kind of you can't really pacify someone's insecurity. If they're insecure, they're gonna be insecure. But you could, I guess, I don't know, just try to make him feel like you're not going to leave him for someone better because you got your body done. I don't know. Because for me, it's like, if you're insecure, I don't know how to pacify that. Like, that's just issues that you have, because if someone loves you, you love that person. No one outside could come between that.
Right. So, like, because I know there are guys out there, like I said, you'll see a guy and he'll have a natural girlfriend, but yeah, he's like in your DM. I'm like, why do you right. Why do you feel like they feel the need to lie about what they're attracted to?
Honestly, me and my cousin was talking one day, and he was telling me like he would like a bitch, a woman with like that looks like an IG model, but he feels like he can't maintain that type of woman. So he's gonna settle for a girl who he's been with forever, but ultimately that's why it's tricky. That's why you shouldn't get your body done to please a man and not get your body done to please a man, because they're not gonna be happy either way. You get your body done, they're gonna be like, I like you better when you were natural. You natural, they might like bitches pictures who have their body done. So it's neither here nor there with men. So that's why you should just do it for yourself. You got to get you somebody who supports you, whether you're natural or you have work done.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about like guys? Because once we get our work done and things like that, you do have a lot of men who will just see you solely as like a sex toy, like you're just a walking sex toy. That's it. And how do you even date with that mentality? Because I know for me it's hard. Like I don't even date at this point, but I don't even know how to get past that. Because I don't tell people I have it, but I have a podcast and I'm really open about it. So they just kind of find out. So how do you deal with being seen as like more than just something you can smash pretty much?
It takes a strong person to do that. I mean, you just have to, in terms of dating, you have to let someone see you for you. I've dated people in the past who they're like, wow, you're completely different than what I thought. Even like not even people I dated, it's like people I hung out with or, business meetings or whatever. They're like, wow, you're super smart, or wow, you're super different than how you look. So I would say to combat that, just have more going for you than your looks. You cannot just have a fat ass and a big titties and think you are God's gift to man. Like you have to have something up here, number one. You have to have something in your head, and you have to have a good heart, because now anybody can buy ass and titties. Anybody can buy a new nose. You can buy new teeth. I got my teeth done. You can get teeth. You literally can be anything that you want. So it's kind of like now your advantage has to be your brain and your heart.
Absolutely, girl. You said a mouthful. Because I know some beautiful women, like drop dead, gorgeous, titty, teeth, ass, with like they got, but it's nothing. It's like it just dead, like you talking to a brick wall.
I know people like that too. I have a friend like that, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't realize it because we didn't spend a lot of time together until like recently. And I'm like, wow, you're really an airhead. You really have nothing going for you but your look. So when your looks fade in 20 years, I'm going to be scared for you.
Hello. You're going to be still fine, and you're going to be still smart.
Right, exactly. Because that's just what is going to set you apart.
Hello.
Who wouldn't want to be a sugar baby? No, but
you can make the same money though.
You could make the same money, but it all depends on how you value your independence and your freedom. And it also depends on what type of sugar baby relationship that you have. Because there are girls who have like a married sugar daddy. I don't date married men, so that's not wrong. But like a married sugar daddy, so they literally have the freedom to like have a boyfriend and have a completely separate life. Mm-hmm. And so the freedom doesn't matter. So that's a good situation. Or you have a sugar daddy who is like your boyfriend. So it's kind of like you got to be available for them all the time. Mm-hmm. And then with dancing, it's like you can go to work when you want, or, you don't want, you make your money, you come home. So, I mean, ideally, for me, I would just be rich on my own. I would just be a millionaire from my podcast, my businesses, and my book. And I could just, just do whatever. Because you want to date someone that you actually love, that you actually attracted to. Mm-hmm. Like eventually unless your sugar daddy is fine, like that one that went viral, eventually you're going to get tired of that. I mean, this is me personally. I'm rather be with somebody that's closer to my age. We grow it together. We build together. I find them attractive because after the money is spent, it's kind of like, damn, I wasted time being with somebody who, I didn't really want. So, yeah.
Fair enough. I kind of want to talk about this book a little bit because it's giving more free game in the book, so what is the title of the book?
Okay, so I have two. I have an ebook strictly for like my website, which is going to be just like the Sugar Baby Handbook, like a really small ebook, like 50, 60 pages. And then I have my actual book that I've been working on for 2 years. The title is negotiable. I'm working with my publisher, but as of now, it's called Life of a Midnight Ballerina. And pretty much it is a exotic dancer handbook. But in the book, I touch about different jobs in sex work. So I talk about sugar babies, telephone people, porn stars, OnlyFans models, Instagram models. So I touch about it one. But that book is an exotic dancer handbook. It's 12 chapters. It talks about everything you need to know, the pros, the cons, the do's and the don'ts.
Mm-hmm. So do we have a release date for both of them, the ebook and the...
So the ebook should be out by like May.
Okay.
Don't put me on a date. And then I'm looking for my book to be out my birthday, July 8th.
Oh, wow. So you're dropping them back to back.
Yeah, well, the ebook is something that I just started working on just because when I did my podcast, I got a lot of good feedback from the Sugar Baby episodes, and they're like, girl, we need more. So that I just decided that, but the Life of a Midnight Ballerina, I've been working on that since 2020. So it's almost 2 years in the making. So it's time. Because I wrote a whole different book and then I scrapped that book and rewrote it. So now it's time.
So why did you scrap the original one?
Because the original book, I was working with a published editor who was more into writing novels, so writing a story. So he wanted me to tell my story, and I didn't need a book about my life because I feel like I haven't done enough to write a book about my life. Plus, I want the book to be versatile.
Yes.
And so I worked with I was talking to a famous actor who wanted to turn my book into a screenplay. Mm-hmm. So I sold him some of the content in the book. Okay. So I just scrapped that. Hey, he paying a check. I'm gonna give you the money, and then let me just write a whole different book. Mm-hmm. So then I decided I'm more of I love biopics and novels too, but I'm definitely into self-help books are very popular now. People want to kind of learn on how they can do something or do better. So I was like, I think if I write a handbook, I feel like it'll be different because a lot of people got books about the strip club and whatever. But to write a handbook, do's and don'ts, step by step, I think that would be more beneficial to the public.
I am super excited. So what are we doing for this book release? Are you having a book release party, book signing?
Yes. Okay. So I plan to do a book release party, a big book release party here in LA. Okay. And then I would love to do a book signing, maybe at the party. Okay. So I want one of my parties to be like a brunch. So then it will come with like bottomless mimosas, a copy of the book, and then I'll do some signings. Yes. And then I would like to do like conventions and stuff like that and do a signing there.
Yes.
So I'm getting that worked out once I finish the book, but I definitely want to do a release brunch.
Yes, I think that'll be so dope and cute, and brunch is just girly.
Yeah, brunch is super popping, super trendy now. So I'm like, perfect.
People would love to do that. So tell all of my viewers and listeners where they can listen to Kashmere Uncensored, where we can get this book, just keep up with you in general.
Okay, so my podcast, Kashmere Uncensored, and it's KAFHMERE Uncensored, is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's going to be coming to YouTube soon, and it's on Station Head. Okay. And we also have an Instagram on the same name, so you can keep up with the episodes. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Aliyah Cash Barbie, and Twitter, the same handle. And the book should be out July 8th. Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed. But new episodes every Thursday of Kashmere Uncensored around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Perfect. Well, girl, I'm so excited I'm excited for this book. I'm a reader. So
yes, me too. I'm a reader.
I'm a big reader, so I'm definitely getting both of them. And congratulations on the book, just in general. Like, I already know it's gonna be juicy because the podcast is juicy.
Thank you. Yeah, on the podcast, it's going to get juicier season 2 because everything is going to be visual, and I'm going to have a panel, and it's going to be. I'm actually interviewing my manager from my old strip club for my first visual episode. So it's going to get. She's going to talk about things that I don't even know. So it's going to be a vibe.
So when is that? When is season 2 coming out?
Season 2 will be out April 13th. It will start.
Okay.
So April 13th will be the starting of season 2. Everything visual. Everything's gonna be filmed.
Okay, so it's gonna be on YouTube. Where are you gonna put it at?
It's gonna be on YouTube, Spotify because you can do video on Spotify now. It's gonna be on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook Watch, Instagram Reels, Instagram TV, Station Head, Anchor, everywhere they'll accept me, it's gonna be there.
Yes, I'm so excited, girl. I've been watching you and listening for months, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got to come get her. She gotta be on my show.
Yes, I'm excited, and I love all your content. I always keep up, and get some ideas, and I love it.
Yes,
fine ass author, I love it.
Thank you. You up next? You the next fine ass author.
Yes, my goal is to be a New York Times best-selling author. That's my number one goal in life.
You will, trust me, because a book like yours is very different. It's a lot of self-help books in the world, but it's no self-help books about being a sugar baby or, exotic dance. It's nothing like that anywhere.
Yes.
So, first of all, it's different. You found your lanes.
Yes.
You're going to be on all type of bestseller lists, child.
I'm excited. I hope so.
You definitely will.
So we got to do an interview after the book drops and get into some things. So
read the book. I'm gonna read both of them, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna discuss the whole tea. Like that's why I said don't give them too much.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. Let's do it.
So thank you.
Oh, by the way, it's gonna be a little bit of celebrity name dropping in the book too. So stay tuned.
Now wait a minute now.
Which is another reason why it took so long because I had to kind of get some legal things worked out. It's kind of like, you know how Brittany Renner, like if you read her book, you would know who she's talking about without saying that name.
So that's why you did it.
It's gonna be because I can't get sued.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, don't get sued, sis.
Never.
So do you think, before I let you go, do you think you describe everybody like in a way that we're gonna absolutely know as soon as we
Yeah, you would definitely know. Whether I have to say a song, whether I have to say a record label, a city, you're gonna know. And it's not just like with me, it's just like stories. I have a few like little stories from girls that in pertaining to what I'm talking about in the handbook.
Oh yes, ma'am. Like I'm even more excited. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I am super excited. Well, yes, we definitely gonna have you back after we get our books and read a little bit. I would love to have like a panel of girls who didn't read the book.
Me too. We should do that next.
Yes.
We should do that. So let's do a panel.
Pick your brain about everything in the book, like, because I know if I'm gonna have questions, everybody's gonna have questions.
Yes. So we should definitely do it. I'm down.
We're doing this. We are doing this. So Kashmere will be coming back.
Yes, I'll be back.
She will be back sometime summer-ish, but
yes. So Cancer season.
Yes. Hello. Best season, okay? So, thank you so much for joining the Kate Dish Podcast, girl. We appreciate it. And come back and see us.
Yes.